Welcome to PrizePicks on 5 here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. I'm at Kasaya Center before the Heat play the Knicks in Game 6. Before we start, tell you who's here and what we're doing, make sure you use the code 5. Download PrizePicks.com from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Use the code 5. You can only get the money if you put down money. You don't have to put down $100, but they will match whatever you put down, so we recommend as much as is allowable because they'll match it at the start and not after that. But it's free money. There are no rollovers. This is not a scam. They're literally giving you money to play. So put down 100. They'll give you 100. You can pull it out at any time if you want later on. So use the code 5, F-I-V-E. Get that initial deposit matched up to $100. You got David Eversole. You can follow him at David W. Eversole. You got David Friedman. We're in the Heat jersey. You can follow him and talk about sports. Let's go through the props here today. I kind of want to do this a little bit player by player and then sort of see who picks what. Did anybody pick up a Jimmy prop as a prized pick tonight?
I took him over 4 points in the first 6 minutes. I feel like the last game, wasn't what he's been doing in the playoffs, and I think Miami wants to get off to a fast start in this game, and Jimmy would be the catalyst for that, more than likely. A couple early baskets at home. I mean, Miami's been great at home throughout the playoffs, and especially on the defensive end. So I feel like this is kind of the Jimmy take charge early game, and Miami just runs with it. So I'm
with you. I think he's going to be aggressive early. Friedman, would you play him on anything?
I would take him on the over probably on everything right now. I think he'll play, if it's a 48-minute game, he might play 56 minutes tonight. So, yeah, take him over on the everything.
Thibodeau minutes.
Jimmy over on the everything. By the way, I don't hear that there's any structural damage with his ankle beyond his sprain. It just swelled up in the last game. So, I mean, it's something they got to manage, but it's not something that got significantly worse in the last game from what I heard. All right, so let's get to Bam, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to play the sucker. I'm going to play Bam over 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I'm a little concerned about Scott Foster giving him 2 fouls early in the game and how that plays out, but provided that he can avoid that, I feel like he's locked into this series. Now, you see the numbers he's been under, but again, I think this will be a little bit more like that Game 4 than what we saw in Game 5. And Game 5, he was close. It's just that they just didn't get him the ball late in the game. So I'm going to play him over on the points, rebounds, and assists. What are you guys thinking?
I feel like it's safe. He seems like he's not super hesitant right now, right? So I think Jimmy getting hurt, like we said, he had to get in his ear a little bit to start being more aggressive. And, it's not just shoot to shoot. He's actually confident right now.
David, would you play him on anything?
I didn't play him personally, but if I was going to lean, maybe I'd go 11.5 rebounds and assists. If we're looking at kind of an all-around game, but maybe his scoring isn't quite up in that 18-20 range. So one of those picks. But I kind of stayed away from Bam. There was just some other players I liked more in this particular game.
All right, so let's get to some of those players. What do we got here? Friedman, what's your favorite Heat prop other than Jimmy?
Gabe over on assists. I think he had 4 assists in the first half, and he ended up in foul trouble. He didn't end up doing anything after that. But I know Scott Foster, but I don't see him picking up 5 quick fouls like he did. So give him over 4 assists there.
We should have a Scott Foster prop. Eversole, what do you like on the board other than him?
Caleb Martin. He's been great in the playoffs. He's been a little bit inconsistent in this second round versus the Knicks. He's not getting to the line like he was earlier in the series. He's only got 1 free throw attempt in the last 2 games, but he's shooting it better from 3. He's 45% in the last 2 games. I feel like we get an overall good all-around Caleb Martin game. Gets the line a couple times, hits a couple threes, couple other baskets, and goes over 8.5 points. He's been over that 8 out of 10 games in the playoffs.
You guys 5 reasons jinx the free throw thing, huh?
Yeah, we killed the free throw thing. That's that one's off the board. All right. I would play the Caleb props tonight as well. I feel pretty comfortable with that because they got to slow down Jalen Brunson, which means that Caleb's going to play more minutes tonight. I feel like there's going to be a switch made there defensively, which is going to keep him on the floor. When he's on the floor, he tends to produce. So I'm going to go with him there. I kind of like the Strus props tonight too. I don't know. He's played big in some of these games where they've had closeout situations. So I kind of like some of the max props. Let's pivot over to the other side. By the way, there's an Embiid prop on there. If you want to pair it with something and you can wait to get your money until Sunday, they got a 0.5 point Embiid prop up there that's going to be up there until the Game 7 between the Sixers and the Celtics. So you're looking for an easy one, but you're willing to wait for your money, play that. On the Knicks side, I know most people are playing Brunson over on everything. He's going to play a ton of minutes. Again, I think they're going to play him a little differently. I'm going to go back to the Mitchell Robinson prop, the 9 rebounds. He kind of got his ass kicked down here the last time with all the offensive rebounding for Miami. I feel like that'll be an emphasis. I'm going to go over the 9 rebounds on Mitchell Robinson. Freeman, what do you like on the Knicks side?
Like the Robinson thing, I feel like at this point, like I agree with you, but like every single time I agree with you about him, I'm wrong. So Brunson over, but on rebounds, I was talking to Dave about it. Like it just seems like that's, besides scoring, like that's one of the most obvious things that keeps happening. He just seems to be in the right place at the right time for the rebounds, and I think that's a low number for him, 5. So take him on the over.
Eversol?
Randall, under on the PRA, 35.5. He's been under it 8 out of 9 games in the playoffs. And I just feel like this is a defensive game for Miami. They've been really kind of uneven offensively. This series is like the polar opposite of the Knicks series in terms of what you're getting. Miami hasn't scored over 109 points in one game in this series, where versus Milwaukee, they didn't score under 119 in any game. So I feel like we get a complete effort from the Heat on both sides of the ball, and that includes kind of neutralizing Randall. So I'm taking him under 35.5 PRA.
All right, under 3.5 PRA. Again,
35.
take a look, everybody, at some of those Warriors props too. You can play those if you like as well. I would go over on Curry tonight. I feel like this is they're going to unleash him tonight to try to finally win a road game. Go under on everything Jordan Poole. Just do it. Just stay with that. I feel pretty safe with that. You use the code 5 FIVE. Get that initial deposit matched up to $100. We'll see you for Game 7 or Game 1, one way or the other. Have a good night, everybody.
Game 1.